My name is Mike Ferrell with DRA American Real Estate, and I'm here today with Andrew Carl.
Yep,
He works with Affordable Home Insurance,
that's right.
a local home insurance provider, and local, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're going to cover a couple of topics today, just continuing my series that I've been working with for learning about the home buying process and educating my buyers and sellers so that they're more prepared to buy and sell real estate.
Excellent.
Because it can be a difficult process. So these videos hopefully will answer some of those questions ahead of time before
Yes,
they get
sir.
into it.
Yep, there's a lot involved in it, and from an insurance end, a lot of moving parts, so I'm happy to clarify anything I can on that.
Great. So we're going to get into the topic, and the first question that I had today was about binding home insurance. So when we go through the process of purchasing a home, a lot of times there's some question about when the home buyer should typically bind their home insurance. There's a few opinions on it. I understand that, but what's your take on binding home insurance?
Well, my personal opinion on it is to get it done as early as possible once the inspections are done on the house. If you can get those in a month or 30 days or so before closing, that really helps me in case there's anything that needs to be addressed as far as repair or any condition that comes up on the home that might compromise the ability to get insurance or make the insurance more expensive for the buyer. So if we can prevent any of those things, and it takes some time to do it, obviously repairs can't happen overnight. So if we find out they're needed right before the closing date, it can be a little problematic and we have to go with more expensive options for the insurance. So I would say as soon as the inspections are done, we're armed with all the facts that we need to get the insurance bound, and we can get it done as early as 30 days before closing, and that's how I like to do it. And it makes things easier on the lending side too, because then they have everything they need to close the loan, and they're not waiting on anything to get you approved.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So that's good news. And then another question I get a lot doing this is wind mitigation. So whenever I try to brief them ahead of time and give them an idea about it, but a lot of times when they contact an insurance company, that's one of the questions that hopefully should come up because there's some important information about it. So can you kind of describe to us briefly what that is and why it's important to the buyer?
Well, wind mitigation is going to be an inspection of the roof and primarily the interior features of how the roof is put together, the hurricane clips, the nail spacing of where the plywood is connected to the roof trusses. Also looks at the windows and doors to see if there's any impact rating there. So the magic year with the wind mitigation is 2002. That's the year that the state of Florida put the most recent building codes in effect. So any home prior to 2002, we generally see a lot of wind mitigation credits. Most builders were using the hurricane clips well before 2002. Same thing with the tighter nail patterns. They're just not state required, so they're not given those discounts by default like they are on a newer house. So the wind mitigation gives them, depending on how old the house is, can be anywhere from several hundred to several $1,000s off of the insurance premium. So if ever someone is buying a house prior to the 2002 year, I always would recommend getting a wind mitigation. But also with, as time goes on, we're in 2018 now, so a house that was built in 2002 now has a 16-year-old roof on it. So the wind mitigation will also tell you if there's been any roof updates over time as well that may give you an idea of how long you're looking at before that roof replacement is going to become a requirement for the homeowner.
Okay. That's good information.
All right, good deal.
And if you don't mind, we talked about it just briefly in the beginning, with all these rains. Is there anything that people kind of want to maybe look at?
Absolutely. I mean, it's always a good experience or a good eye-opener when we have a lot of rain like this. A lot of our area is in an ex-flood zone, so the flood insurance is not a requirement of the loan like the mortgage is. So a lot of people don't think that flooding could ever happen to them in that house or that they're not in a flood zone, which is not true. Every property in the country is in some designated flood zone. It just matters how risky it is. So flood insurance is typically pretty inexpensive if you're in a flood zone or in an ex-flood zone, anywhere from $300 to $400 a year in most cases. And in a situation where we have a lot of flooding, it can save you just a lot of money. I've had families that had their entire futures, compromised by some bad flood damage when they didn't have flood insurance.
I can imagine.
So it's it's a worthwhile investment for most people.
Yeah. Yeah, so not too costly, and it could potentially save you thousands and thousands of dollars.
Oh yes, it's eye-opening. If you've never experienced it, a little bit of water damage in the house can lead to extreme amounts of damage, $40,000-$50,000,
sure.
and yeah, for the average family, that's enough to really change the trajectory of your short-term future.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to sit down and answer some questions with me and help educate my buyers and sellers out there.
Happy to.
Yeah, and absolutely thank you for everybody that took the time to watch the video. Obviously, Veronica's on, and my sister Beth is on as well.
Excellent.
So yeah, thanks so much everybody for taking the time to watch the video. And if you have any questions, please shoot me a message or email me or a text. Or post it down below if you have a question, or maybe if you just have an idea for a future video, please let me know because I'm doing these for you guys. So if there's something that you want to know about the real estate process or buying and selling, whatever it is, let me know, and I'll find the expert for it, and we'll sit down and we'll discuss it. So I think that about covers it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and enjoy the rest of your week. And thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.